Julia here from JM Squared Vintage. Welcome back to the channel. I am here today with the bins haul. Kind of a weird day at the bins. It's kind of like an interesting mix of, there's like a little bit of bread and butter, there's a little bit of like interesting style pickup, there's some really cool vintage pieces, one wild roller coaster of emotions, like lots of interesting stuff to talk about. Also, yes, I chopped off my hair. I love a blunt cut. I do. But before we get started here, if this is your first time here, if this is your first time stumbling on my channel, first and foremost, welcome. I am Julia. That is my name. We talk all things thrifting and vintage and the business of reselling on the internet here. If that sounds like something that you might be into, consider hitting subscribe down below. I would love to have you along on this journey. But without further ado, guys, we have a lot of stuff to get through. I think I've got like 32, 33 pieces here, so lots of fun stuff to talk about. And so why don't you go grab yourself a snack, grab yourself a drink. You know I've got my matcha latte. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the goods. So we're gonna start here with the one like non-clothing item that I found, and this was kind of a cool find and like a sleeper hit, so pay attention. So I saw this, and I wish you could feel how heavy this is. This is 100% cotton. This is a bedspread, and immediately when I saw it, it reminded me, and like let me know if you remember this. Growing up, we always had Bates bedspreads. Like the company's name was Bates. They were made with like little cotton loops in patterns. I'll put a picture of one up here. I'm sure even if you don't know what they were called, you remember these. And I am 100% certain that my mom would thrift those. So respect to her, because those things are expensive. But anyway, this kind of gave me that feeling, but the reason I grabbed it is because my best friend is redoing her guest room slash office, better known as my room, when I go to visit. And she's doing this kind of like warm 70s-esque kind of palette. So I grabbed it for her because I know like these kind of things are so expensive. And I just thought it was super cool. This is, I think, a queen size. And I just grabbed it. I didn't even look at the label, and I had it on my basket. So there's another couple that I see from time to time in this bins location, and they do Whatnot. I believe their store is called the Opal Hanger. You should go and check them out. They're like the sweetest people. And she came over, she's like, oh, you grabbed that bedspread? She's like, I think it was Cabin Crafts. And I'm like, I didn't even look at it. I'm like, I'm getting this for my best friend. Like I'm not, you know, this isn't gonna be for sale. But sure enough, it is from Cabin Craft, and this is true vintage from the 70s. And these resell for between like $200 and $400 on the resale market. And this is in like fantastic condition. I gave it a wash and it's like brand new condition. You can tell that this was probably just used as like a little swag. Anyway, this is not for sale. This is for my best friend, but what a cool find. I mean, guys, do not sleep on bedding in the bins. I have found like multiple Restoration Hardware linen duvets. They sell over $100 in days. So do not sleep on that section. This is pretty heavy, so it's a more expensive thing in the bins locations, but still, like if you're getting $200 to $400 on the resale market, like that's a great buy. And likewise, if you don't have a bins location, make sure you're checking out the bedding section, because y'all, there are some finds to be had. And this is the kind of stuff that has an inelastic demand. Like people need bedspreads, right? Like it's not an optional thing. Fashion is an optional thing. Bedspreads are not an optional thing. Either way, I'm just really excited about this, and I'm excited to pack this in a suitcase and bring it home to Philly to put it in definitely not her office, but my room in her house. That thing weighs a ton. All right, now on to the clothes. So the first thing we picked up here is this great cashmere. This is Charter Club cashmere, guys. Do not sleep on Charter Club cashmere. I know it's a brand that not many people pick up, but their cashmere is quite nice. And this is just a little cream colored turtleneck, ribbed. I mean, this style is very, very classic and timeless, and it's in right now on top of being classic and timeless. I will see like $30 to $40 minimum. And I mean like any kind of cashmere, any kind of quality cashmere in good shape is like a minimum $30 sale, just so you can kind of factor that into, you know, your cost calculations and your profit margin calculations. So, I mean, you know, comfortably pay up for it. I buy cashmere all year long. Like I know people think I'm crazy, but I sell cashmere all year long. Cashmere is always in style. It's always in demand. And it's a luxury item, right? People love getting a deal on it no matter when. And it's just the kind of stuff that like, this will never go out of style. Keep this in a cedar closet and you'll have it like forever. It's a nice point for me to put in if you're not fortunate enough to have a cedar closet in your house and you are selling any kind of cashmere, silk, stuff like that, please, please, please pick up some cedar blocks, balls, rings, whatever it is that works for your storage situation. Please pick some up to safeguard your knits. They are super cheap. I always have the ones that I buy linked down in the description, but there are like thousands and thousands and thousands of options. So figure out what works for your storage, and please, 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 for the sake of keeping cashmere in good condition, please invest the 10 or 15 bucks in getting some cedar pieces. Onto another little piece. This is a little bit more in the bread and butter world. This is a mock neck from Silkland, silk knit here. This is a spun silk cotton knit in this really pretty like grape purple. It's from Silkland. I want to say that this is vintage from the 90s. It's in fabulous condition. This was a pretty expensive brand on the resale market for something like this. Now this is actually like the mock neck is pretty in right now. It's lightweight. I can't quite tell if this is men's or women's because this cut is very like either or, you know what I'm saying? But it's in fantastic condition. I'll probably see somewhere 25 to 32 on this. And again, it's these kind of little luxuries do sell very, very well for me. And this feels like an absolute dream, guys. If you have never gotten your hands on like a spun silk sweater, please get yourself to your closest like high-end department store or high-end off-market store and get your hands on some of these things. Just, you know, if nothing else, I'm somebody who's really big on using, like I do not wear gloves in the bins. This is like a personal thing. If you do, I 100% understand why you do. But for me, I lead with touch, right? So like if I'm digging around and I feel something brush against my pinky that feels like this, I know I'm gonna pull that out, right? Like I'm very tactile led when I am in the bins. And if you haven't done it yet, if you don't have a lot of access to really high-end textiles, the next time you're in a big city or whatever, take some time to stop into a Saks Fifth Avenue and just get your hands on some of that stuff. It's worth it. It's worth a little bit of time invested. Next up, this is a little Free People piece, which I think is so cute. It's a black slip dress with a high slit, actually. Oh, oh my God, okay. So I thought that this was a halter neck dress because really, does that not look like the top of a halter neck? And as I'm holding it up just now, like I'm just figuring this out right now. I'm like, man, that slit is real high if that's a halter neck, right? Like that's really, really high. I'm standing here realizing because Free People always puts their tags center back. And I'm like, wait a second, this is a maxi skirt. Cool. This is super cute. Okay, so this is a maxi skirt. Sorry. This is how it goes sometimes. Typically when I'm doing these hauls, I generally, like I go to the bins, I do my pass through at the bins, I come home, I check them into my inventory, but it's really quick. I'm like, okay, Free People, black, slip dress, I'll probably get about this much. I do a cursory search for it, but when I go, like when I really get into it deep is when I'm photographing and listing it. So perfect example of what can happen when I do it that way. So this is a maxi skirt. It's got a cute little adjustable keyhole right there, not a neckline, with a high slit. Oh, this will go so fast. Maxi skirts do really well for me, especially a maxi skirt with a really tall slit. I like that this actually makes the waist a little bit adjustable. You can kind of tie it out, tie it in. Size small, imperfect condition. So I'll probably see somewhere between, again, 25 to 32 on this. No doubt, this will go quick. This is like a perfect closet staple. Always in style. So, so cute. That can also go like swim cover up. That can double dip in those keywords. Guys, I may have chopped my hair, but I am growing out the bangs and they are just at the worst length right now. Apologies if I'm constantly fidgeting with them. So next up here, this is a little sweatshirt from a brand called Sweaty Betty. This is like a lightweight French terry crop. It's white, it's size 10 US. So Sweaty Betty, if you are unfamiliar, there's the label. So Sweaty Betty is kind of like the UK answer to Lululemon. Like pricing is about the same, quality is about the same, and popularity over there is about the same as Lululemon has here. So in the US market, it still fetches a pretty good price. Now, where something like this from Lululemon would get me probably somewhere $45 to $50, like their scuba sweatshirt. I literally just sold a scuba sweatshirt in this color a couple weeks ago, and I think it went for like $45. This will get probably somewhere between 25 to 30, but again, a good brand to look for, especially if you're able to source in the bins or on a sale day, or if you're able to get it for $3 or $4. As with every activewear brand, I would probably stay away from their leggings right now. They are kind of selling in the same range as like Athleta leggings. So a little bit less than Lululemon, and for a little bit less than Lululemon, which has come down in price considerably, but stuff like this, like crop sweatshirts, quarter zips, jackets and stuff, like they're still selling pretty well. And it's definitely like good quality stuff. So if you're in the market for some gym wear and you want Lululemon quality, but you don't want to pay Lululemon prices, even on the secondhand market, check out Sweaty Betty. They're good stuff. Also, their swimsuits are excellent. Next up, now this was an interesting one. So I bought this. This is definitely a style pickup. This is very much a Y2K style shirt. It's got the little satin trim, little ruffle sleeves, very girly. You can use coquette, you can use ballerina core, Y2K, fairy core. You know, there's a lot of different like little core aesthetics that this fits into. The brand on this is As No As Debase. And yes, that's word boggle. So this is a Japanese designer, and it's a pretty high-end Japanese designer. Not a brand that people would necessarily know over here on the States. And I certainly didn't pick it up because of who it was. I picked it up because of the style, but just an interesting little thing if you are in any way into Japanese designers. This is something that is pretty in demand over there. And I just think it's lovely. I'll probably see about $25 on this, maybe a little bit more. Because again, it is a pretty high-end designer. And I don't know if you can really see this, but there's like the faintest little whisper of a shimmer. You can kind of see it in the gold right here. Just a little kiss of it. It's really pretty, and it's in fantastic condition. A good style to look for no matter what the brand is. Next up, another vintage piece, and this, oh my God, I like every rock star, like these immediately give me like Sugar Ray. And I don't know how else to describe that. So these are from Paul Frank, and you probably know Paul Frank because he did that like monkey design. I'll see if I can find a picture of it and put it up here. That was kind of his thing, but these are a pair of men's pants. They've got, I mean, this is so late 90s rock star. So they've got little details on the pocket. They're a slight boot cut. They've got a little bit of stretch to them. These would have been like $100 back in the 90s. Paul Frank was a really like, I don't want to call him like a high-end designer, but like, it was like a prestige brand for like the young adult set. And I just thought it was really cool because again, like find another one of these. Now they'll probably resell $30, $35, but again, it's like just something that I know will be sought after and I know will sell quickly just because of what it is, how old it is, and who the designer is. So this was just a really cool find. Size 30, so kind of a small size for men's, but so fabulous. Perfect boot cut. Like, you know, if you were around in the 90s, you know these pants. You know exactly who wore these pants. All right, next up. Now, I don't do a ton of menswear, but this is a label you guys should be keeping your eyes out for. I'm sure you already are, but in case you're not. So this is a beautiful blazer. I think this is like a 42. I need to learn a little bit more about men's sizing. This is in like flawless condition. First thing that caught my eye was that it's made in Switzerland, which, who's manufacturing in Switzerland? Switzerland is like, I'm pretty sure the most expensive country in the world. If it's not the most expensive, it's like top 5 most expensive. Like, to manufacture in Switzerland is absolutely wild. So you knew immediately that this was not an inexpensive blazer. And then I opened it up and I saw, and I'm gonna attempt this name, Ermenegildo. I think I'm saying that right. I am so sorry if I butchered it, but this is an incredibly high-end brand. This blazer in and of itself, the fact that it's like a wool tweed, beautifully made, it's like not a super structured, it doesn't have like a lot of horsehair inside of it, like that's a big thing. This is definitely more of like a sports coat versus a suit jacket. $3,000 to $4,000. So keep your eyes out. Now on the resale market, I'm not sure what I'll get on this. I'll do a lot more research in like sizing and what this line is and what the fabric is. And it's like a Glen plaid tweed hybrid. It's kind of an interesting color. It appears brown from the distance, but it's not like pinstriped. It doesn't look dated. It is 3-button, but it is a bigger size. So I'm pretty sure that like a 3-button construction on a bigger size is a little bit more standard. So yeah, what an exciting thing in like perfect condition. Like definitely, again, a brand to be on the lookout for. The dress shirts, the pants, all that kind of stuff. This is high end stuff. This is like Brioni level. If you know what I'm saying, like this is that level of suiting. Stunning. That's like $3,000 to $4,000 for just the coat. So suits start at about $6,000 to $8,000. So commit that name to memory is what I'm saying. Please don't let anything like this go to the waste stream. Next up, this sweater. Now I grabbed this sweater. This is Sleeping on Snow, which is an Anthropologie brand. One of the more in-demand Anthropologie brands. I just thought this was so pretty, and this color, the amount of people, I I've had like a few things in this color come through my closet, and they are almost universally some of the items that I get the most action on. I think it's just because it's really hard to find stuff in a bright yellow. And it's kind of like a chunky pointel knit, super cute, in great condition. It is size extra small. Oh, made in Italy. Oh, and it's an alpaca blend. Okay, that explains Italy. So yeah, I mean, something like this, I probably don't anticipate selling this until fall. It's definitely like not a lightweight sweater, is what I'm saying. But I'll probably see like somewhere between $30 and $40 on this. Again, Sleeping on Snow is one of their more in-demand brands, especially for their knits. It's a great textile and it's a really unusual color. And keep your eyes out for these unusual colors, because like I'm somebody who likes like a cobalt blue and like a dark periwinkle, and they're almost impossible to find items of clothing in. So if somebody really loves this color and this is like the color that they look amazing in, it's just hard to find. There's just not a lot of it out there. So make sure you're leveraging the color. Like this is a good like sunshine yellow, highlighter yellow, almost, you know, bright yellow, whatever you need to put in there. But just make sure that you are treating the actual color, like the tone of this color, as an attribute of the sweater that you're listing in your listings. Next up, I actually got this for my neighbor. I think that this is really cute and I think she'll look absolutely adorable in it. This is just a little blazer. It's from a brand called Semantics. This is vintage, I believe, from the 90s. I'm hoping this fits. If not, I'll sell it because it is just so cute. So it's almost cropped, like that hits kind of like hip bone. Look at these sleeves. Obsessed. The fabric feels really nice. Oh, it's a cotton linen blend. That's why it feels really nice. It is a size 6, and I believe Semantics was a pretty expensive, kind of like professional wear style. So like I said, I'm hoping that this fits my neighbor. If it doesn't, I'll sell it. I'll probably see 30 to 40 on this. I just think it's really chic. You know, if you're somebody who likes to wear a blazer, like this is a little bit of a good like casual, not quite like corporate raider style blazer, but more of like a blazer you can go from work to brunch and look totally fine in both. I just think it's really chic. And it's in like fantastic condition. Again, I'm pretty sure that this is vintage from the 90s. I don't think that this brand is still around anymore, but very, very cute. Next up, okay, this is an interesting one, and moms out there, please let me know if you are familiar with this brand. So I picked this up, and it's just like a little girl's tutu. But in the bins around us, I see like multiple tutus every day, and I have never felt a tutu this nice. So this is like multiple layers, ribbon trim. This is like really high-end cotton. This is like a high-end cotton sateen, multiple layers. And when I turned it around, there was this little logo on the back, and I thought it said Lodum. And then I saw a little tag on the side, and it sounds like it's Jodum. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Either way, this is so overbuilt for a little girl's tutu. I'm like, there is no way that this is not worth something. And then I found a little button that says Simply Dutch. So this is obviously Dutch made. This is just on the outside. Like the amount of branding on this is so like cost prohibitive that you know that this is something really expensive. And sure enough, so this is like a US size 4. These retailed like $250. So on the resale market, you see pieces that are anywhere between like $25 and $125. I'm not quite sure where this will fit, but like if little 4-year-old Julia had her hands on this, and mom, if you were watching, confirm, I would have gone nuts. I would have worn nothing but this for like days on end. This was always my dream. I always wanted a tutu, and I can't believe that all the little girls today get to have tutus because they're so cheap. Like they just didn't make them back when I was a kid. But I would have lived in this. So cute. And again, it's just so well made and it's in great condition. So, but let me know if you are familiar with this brand. If you are familiar with this brand as a mom and you have kids that love it, or if you're familiar with this brand from a reselling standpoint, let me know, because my God. So nice. There's multiple layers of tulle underneath the skirt. That's ridiculous. I'm like, look at it. Look at how thick that is. Are you ready for an absolute emotional roller coaster? This is gonna be an adventure. So I'm digging through and I see this beautiful toile skirt and I pull it out and I see that. So I lose my mind. I do a quick Google. Google has a toile skirt. It's midi length. It looks very similar, so I buy it. Christian Dior, you take that chance. I looked up what I thought this was, and on the resale market, it was going for like $2,000. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, what did I find? So I get it home and I start looking at it a little closer, and I'm noticing that like the stitching isn't perfect and the lining is like only partial, and it's just kind of like hemmed with an overlock stitch, and like there's just no way. Like Christian Dior would never. You know, like I don't think he would ever do an elastic waist unless it was like a pajama. The skirt that this is made to look like has like a band waist, and it's 2 size. And the big clue for me was the lining. Like this is the kind of thing like where if you pick up a real luxury designer, a lot of the detail and a lot of the luxury is in the places that you don't necessarily see. It's in like a very finely finished silk lining. Like everything on the inside would be completely bound. There would be no overlock stitching seam. So just like some little clues if you're out looking and you find something that might be a Christian Dior skirt worth several $1000s. But I mean, talk about the emotional roller coaster. I mean, it's a cute skirt, don't get me wrong, but it's fake. So I guess I'll get rid of it because we cannot be perpetuating fakes. Me crying in my mantra. Such a heartbreak, right? Like talk about the highs and the lows of being a reseller, honest to God. I haven't even followed that up, you know? All right, so next up, something that I do know is legit. This is a little just like Free People Henley shirt. These Free People Henley shirts sell really well. They still do. Not quite as well as they used to for like years, for like almost a good 10 years. They had these like kind of knit cuffs, and people would pay $60, $70 for these because they would sell out and people loved them and they just had this crazy demand. I'll still probably get $30, $35 on this. They still sell better than a lot of the Free People pieces. But this has this really pretty like lace inset down the sleeve, but it's in great condition, size large, it's gray. Again, probably like $30, $35 on this, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but this is the kind of thing where there's like a higher likelihood of getting a higher price. This is exactly the kind of Free People stuff that people really search out. Next up, another beautiful cream, like wool cashmere blend mock neck sweater. This one's from Theory. This is definitely the newer tag of Theory. And it's a size large and it's in beautiful condition. Just kind of like an oversized fit, slightly oversized arms, which I love. They pull a little bit at the wrist. Something like this, I mean, Theory is so expensive. This probably retailed about $400 or $500 on the resale market for something like this specifically. This might not sell until fall. It's not 100% cashmere. I think it's like 80%, 20% cashmere. If it was full cashmere, this would sell so quick. For whatever reason, just cashmere sells all year. But I'll probably get somewhere between 40 and 60 bucks on this, maybe a little bit more. Theory is just so expensive. They make those gorgeous elevated basics. And again, if you are in the market for yourself for stuff like this, definitely check out Theory on the secondhand market because you can get some great deals on some real like lifetime purchases. I love Theory stuff. Next up, okay, so this is an interesting thing. I just grabbed this because I recognize the name. Now, I don't think that this shirt is gonna be worth much at all, but the brand is worth talking about. So this is a brand called Altamont. It's a skateboard company, and their whole thing, they came out, I wanna say like early 2000s, but their stuff was like quality-wise so much better than everything else in this world. Like their stuff, I wanna say was all like made in the US. And remember, like the skate world is, you're there with like Etnies and DC Shoe Company and all those kind of players, and everything there is like mass manufactured in China, and that's, you know, fine, that's 95% of garments these days, but Altamont was very, very different in that sense. Their later stuff did drop in quality, but their earlier stuff, if you can find their earlier stuff, and you can, like I went down the wormhole after I picked this up. Obviously I didn't know it when I picked this up, otherwise I wouldn't have grabbed it. But it's got like a patch label that's sewn on with that label, the Altamont. If you see it while you are out thrifting, some of those pieces go between $50 and $70. So do yourself a favor, throw it in your basket, do a Google image search for it, and see if it's one of those pieces that's in demand. Because people really, really seek them out. There's not a lot of it out there, and they're just something that people are looking for. And it's not necessarily like a vintage, you know, concert tee that all the t-shirt bros are looking for. This is something that's kind of under the radar and might be something that you are able to get your hands on even if you have a lot of bins bros in the bins with you. So anyway, worth it to pick it up and talk about it. If it can spur one of you guys to find one of the vintage pieces, then it will have been worth it. Next up, this little sweatshirt from Spurt, SPRZ. I don't know how that's pronounced, but this is an offshoot of Uniqlo, I'm pretty sure. And the reason I picked this up is because it is Jean-Michel Basquiat. I've talked about him a lot on this channel. Pretty much anything with his motifs on it is going to sell no matter who made it. Something like this, you want to make sure you're labeling. Obviously streetwear, Jean-Michel Basquiat was very much in that world. Artwear, art to wear, right? This falls in there as well. And SPRZ, again, being a part of Uniqlo, stuff is really well made. This is a size large. The last piece I had from the same company, it was, I believe, also Basquiat, and it sold for like $25. So not something that I would pay up for. This label in particular. I know that they've done collabs with Uniqlo, SPRZ, H&M. All of these guys, I would keep your sourcing prices to the minimum, but if you're seeing something that just has like his crown on the logo, like it's just his name, definitely pay up a little bit more. Anything coming from like directly from the estate or from like a museum collection can go for a pretty good price. But pretty much any time I see anything from Jean-Michel Basquiat or Keith Haring, same deal, I'm gonna pick it up because I know that there's just a very like devout market for it. Interesting. This has a side zip. Oh, I need to do more research on this. But in case you're not familiar with it, that crown is what you're looking for. Typically, if there is anything done with his artwork, even if you're not familiar with his artwork, look for that crown. All right, next up here, this is from Saks Fifth Avenue. This is like their house line. It's just a really cute little swim cover-up. Definitely, again, the time to pick stuff like this up. It's this pretty, like, I don't even know what this is. This is an eyelet. I guess it's kind of lace-y. It's like a cotton gauzy lace, just long enough to cover the swimsuit, pop-over style. Size extra large in great condition. Something like this I'll probably get, $25 to $30 on. And no doubt this will go really quickly just given the time that I'll be listing it. The Saks Fifth Avenue line, like the house line, not necessarily something that I would pay up for. Like if your thrift store jacks it up to like $10, $15, I probably wouldn't pay for that. These retail about $100, but they don't resell quite that high. So keep your, if you're gonna do something like this, keep your acquisition cost probably about under $5 on this, just to make sure that your profit margins are, healthy, as we all want them to be. Next up is this adorable little dress. This is kind of funny. This is another Billabong dress, but it is part of their collab with the Salty Blonde. And I found a dress a couple weeks ago, and it turns out that this must have been a pretty hot collab that they did. The dress that I found the other week sold in like 2 days for $37. And like, if you buy and sell Billabong, you know that that's very, very unusual. Like that's not a price that you typically see. So it must have been something that's just really high in demand. It's a size small, cute little linen blend sundress, short, with little tie back so you can adjust the length of it. Super cute. I'll probably see somewhere between $25, $35 on this. Very, very cute. Now, to be clear, I don't pick up a lot of Billabong, but this collab in particular, aces, at least for now. Next up, okay, yes, it's April. Yes, this is as heavy and as thick and as warm as you are seeing. However, this is a Blarney Woolen Mills, 100% virgin wool, classic Irish sweater cardigan. I mean, you cannot leave these behind. I get that they are bulky. I get that they are heavy. I get that it is almost summer, but this cannot go into the waste stream. Like, it just cannot. We cannot allow that. It's in great condition. It's super cozy. These things are literally like lifetime purchases if you take care of them. Obviously store them with cedar. Something like this, I'll get probably $40 at the low end on. These retail about $200 and up if you get them in Ireland or at like an Irish specialty store, and they get better with wear. So guys, if you see them, pick them up, comfortably pay up for them. They're worth the money. What size is this? This is also vintage. I'm gonna guess that this is about 90s, just given this tag. And it looks to be about either size medium or large. I just love that it's a cardigan. This is gonna be a hard one to get rid of, but my God, I live in California. I would die in this. But yeah, I will pick those up anytime I see them. Spring, summer, fall, winter, whenever, and comfortably I would pay up for that. I would easily pay $10, whatever the thrift store is charging. Next up, okay, so this is something interesting, very niche thing. This is a shirt from a brand called Scarlet Darkness. And It's not a super common brand. It's not something that a lot of people would know if they're not in this world. But Scarlet Darkness is a, it's not like costume wear, right? Like it's a little bit nicer than costume wear. This is made for people, like if you ever go to like a Ren fair, like a Renaissance fair, and you see women walking around in like the full garb, like chances are they're wearing something like this. This is something that is made to look historically accurate, but it's made with like modern conveniences. Like this is like a rayon, right? Like this is not like old school cotton or old school silk. This is a Victorian style top, so this would have been worn with probably like an underbust corset, etc. So it's somewhere in between costume and like historical recreation. This is, to be clear, not Bernadette Banner approved. And if you are not familiar with Bernadette Banner and you are in any way interested in like historical clothing, please go give her YouTube a follow. Like, she is a dress historian. First of all, why did I not know that that job existed? Why? Like, what an absolute dream to do what she does. But she also does these unbelievably like faithful recreations of historic pieces. First of all, she's super smart and funny and super educational, and just like, please, like if you are in any way into that stuff, please go follow her. Please go watch her videos. Like, please. She is like my, I don't want to say guilty pleasure, but she is like when I've had a tough day and I just want to be like entertained and taught and made to laugh, like she is who I turn on. Anyway, so this is not Bernadette Banner approved, but this is something that is very in demand to a very niche group of people who like to dress up in historical garb, but do not have the money or the time to invest in something that is like historically recreated. So anything I've ever had from them sold real quick. So, you know, I want to say that these retail like between $50 and $70. I'll probably get between $25 and $30, but no doubt, especially with like fair season upon us, I have no doubt that this will go very, very quickly. And definitely keep your eyes out for that label. Again, don't pay up for it too much, but just know that, you know, those kind of pieces are highly in demand by a niche group of people, and there's not a lot of people that make stuff like that. I am realizing now exactly how many sweaters I bought this day, but like, that's an Irish wool. This is a Pendleton Shetland sweater. Like, you can't leave these behind. This does have some dog fur on it, and I'm gonna need to do a heavy duty steam on this. But this is like a Pendleton Shetland. It's a size 2XL. It's in like brand new condition. There's like no pilling on it. It's beautiful. It's this nice like Loden green. This will resell probably about 40 bucks. These Pendleton sweaters sell for a pretty good penny. They're very expensive. Again, like lifetime purchases, very, very well made. Shetland wool, a little on the scratchy side, definitely something that you will need to like wear a t-shirt under. Next up, check out this vintage skirt. Oh my goodness. So this is vintage, probably from about the 60s, maybe late 50s, early 60s. This, and one of the easy tells if you're ever outsourcing, is the use of a metal zipper. They were really, the plastic zippers became much more common in, I think it was like the late 60s. So typically when you see something with a metal zipper, it's gonna be a little bit older than that. You can still buy metal zippers, people still use them, but I think that they're bulkier. I don't know why somebody would use a metal zipper instead of like a plastic or a nylon zipper when you have that available to you. But it's just super cute, right? So it's a little bit of like, it's got a little bit of like a crisscross pattern with a ruffle on the bottom. It's so cute. It's tiny. I want to say this is probably like a size 2 or a size 4. This is like a linen cotton blend in these cute little summery sweaters. There's a couple little age spots, and I'm doing a soak on a couple dresses soon in some retro clean. So hopefully I'll just throw this in the tub with those when they go in, and hopefully those come right out. They tend to do a really nice job with age spots like that. So something like this, when I do get it live, it'll probably go, it's not a super significant vintage piece, probably $30, $35. So cute. Next up, oh, my siren call, give me some like nice linen, I'm in. This is from Quince. You know I love Quince. I have a lot of pieces from Quince like in my wardrobe. I love their linen. In fact, this is also Quince linen that I bought from Quince last year. This is one of their linen dresses. It's a mini dress style. It's got some front pockets. It's got some pin tucking on the front, a little pin tucking on the back. So this is like loose and breezy without being like constrictive in any way, shape, or form. Size medium. Like, I literally almost bought this dress in navy blue like 2 days ago. Like literally just 2 days ago. and I found it. So something like this will probably go $30, $35 on the resale market, maybe a little bit more. But yeah, really great stuff. I love quints. I love finding quints. I love selling quints. I love clearly wearing quints. Good stuff. I know that like their Jenny Kane dupe sweaters are not as nice as the Jenny Kane sweaters, but they are also like a fifth of the price. It's hard to argue with that. God, we're getting tall here. Next up, another linen piece. Now this is vintage and the label has been cut out. There is an RN number that I'll look into, but I picked this up because of the style. Like, so I don't know if you can see this. It's got pleats. The knife pleats right here are kind of open and then they tack in here at the bottom so it cinches in. So it's got this kind of cool, like architectural shape to it. And then look at the sleeve. That sleeve is like pointed down. It's so different. Also, it has the pleats in the back as well. This feels like modern minimalist. I'm gonna have to press this out to make sure that these pleats are like really like nice and sharp because I think that's part of the effect. But it's just so different and so unusual. Like I know I would love to wear something like this. You know what I'm saying? Like this is very much my style. So I know that there are other people out there that are in the same style that I am that would love this. And it's just so unusual. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what I'll get for this. This can go anywhere between $25 and $100 if it's, you know, somehow secretly Yohji Yamamoto. It's not, but isn't that so cool? It's just so different. You know, it's definitely something that I had to grab. I'll definitely have to photograph that on the mannequin to get some shape under it because I feel like that's not gonna translate well on a hanger. Next up, a little vintage piece that very well may not be leaving my care. This is a pair of like 90s vintage silk pants from DKNY. I am so obsessed. So they're like parachute pants, right? So they're nice wide leg. They taper in a little bit at the end. Like I have the outfit for this. I have the outfit for this. I have the shoes for this. I love it. So this is definitely like 90s DKNY label. Oh yeah, we all remember that. Made in Hong Kong. Size large, 100% silk. In great condition. This is washable silk for sure. There's no sheen on it, but again, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna keep these. Or at least I'm gonna have these like in use until sold because I need to wear these at least once. They're too fun. They're absolutely too fun. I think when I sell them, I'll probably get, you know, honestly, for something like this, maybe $30 to $45. I might get a little bit more on these just because of what they are and because of the style. They're too fun though. These just might stay in my closet forever. Like I remember the person who wore these pants in the 90s, you know? All right, guys, we're getting there. Next up, now this I might give to my mom because I think she might like this. This is actually vintage, like 90s Tommy Hilfiger. Again, if you're unfamiliar, this is the vintage tag with the Tommy up top, Hilfiger on the bottom with the flag with the big flag in the middle. Anything after about 2003, 2004, it's like a long linear tag. So just keep your eyes out for it because vintage Tommy stuff does go for a bit. I don't know so much about the robes, but it's just like 100% cotton robe and my mom is like the queen of robes. And it's this pretty blue with embroidery. So I'll see if she wants it. If not, I'll sell it or maybe keep it as a summer robe. But it's in great condition. If I sell it, I'll probably get, I don't know, 20 to 30 bucks on it. It does have the tie. Again, it's in great condition and it is vintage, but I just think that's so pretty. But yeah, vintage Tommy, guys. Some of this stuff goes for a mint, especially like the color block men's shirts. Keep your eyes out. Next up, this great piece from LLBean. This is that like heavy duty flannel. I keep wanting to call this moleskin and I don't think it is, but these things from LLBean sell fairly well. Anything LLBean sells fairly well. Their stuff is just so well made. Like LLBean is famous for having this like lifetime guarantee to this insane point where like back in the 90s, the backpack to have, you either had like a JanSport or you had like an LLBean backpack and it had this like diagonal reflector on it. If you were around my age, you remember these backpacks, I guarantee it. And they stood by their product so intently that like people 20 years later were bringing those backpacks back to LLBean for like repair and they were replacing them for free. That's how much they stood behind it. They don't do the lifetime guarantee anymore because word got out and people took advantage of it because people ruin everything. Their stuff is still made to that standard. So anything LLBean, especially if I'm picking it up in the bins, will sell pretty well. Now I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research on this shirt. I don't know if it's vintage or not. I don't know the LLBean vintage tags other than like knowing when a tag looks like actually aged. So I'll have to do a little bit more research. If this is vintage, this could actually sell for quite a bit more. But for now, I'll bank on somewhere probably $20 to $30, and no doubt this will go pretty quickly. Next up, this cute little linen, Irish linen piece. This is from a brand called Edward Irish Linen, and I'm gonna pick up any Irish linen that I find, at least in the bins. Something like this, it's pretty small. It's a pretty like sleeveless shell, obviously so wrinkled. I love the back. Look at that little split in the back. It's gonna make this very, very easy to wear. It's a size small, again, 100% Irish linen. And Irish linen has a very distinct feel, and I wish I could describe it to you. I don't even know, but like I can tell it just by feel. I've felt enough Irish linen in my life. But yeah, something like this I'll probably get like $20 to $25 on. But it is super high quality, and Irish linen is always just really, really special. So if you see it, pick it up. Obviously something like this, mind your costs. You're not gonna be getting $40 on something like this. So don't go paying $10, $11 for something like this, but at the bins all day. Next up, this cute little tank from Bila. Bila is a California company. Their stuff sells pretty well. I've sold quite a few of their pieces. This is just a little tank top, but it's beaded. Do you see that sparkle there on the front? It's got beading and sequin embellishment there. It's got such a pretty sparkle. This is their newer label. Their vintage stuff does sell a little bit better, but their newer stuff is still pretty in demand. Size small, but that is their newer tag, just so you can keep your eyes out for it. It's like a rayon jersey, so it's got that nice drape to it, and it's got lace trim. Something like this. This is one of their like less significant pieces. I'll probably see about $20 on. I think that they're pretty expensive retail. I've never actually looked it up. I just know the brand resells really well, but their stuff is nice, and again, really thoughtfully embellished. Like that sparkle is just enough, right? Like it's not over the top. This can be worn every day for just a little bit of sparkle. I do love some beading. I never wear it, but I love looking at it. Last few things here. First of all is this beautiful like gray tweed dress. So this is really nice. When I picked it up, I'm like, this fabric is so nice. Like you could just tell that this is high. I mean, you can look at it. You can see that there's like a little bit of a sheen to it. Like this looks luxurious. And it's a size 10, so it's a great size, and the brand on it. And when I saw the tag, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it because it's kind of tonal, but when I first saw it, I thought it said Nicole Farm, because it looks like Nicole Farm. And turns out it's Nicole Farhi, who's definitely a high-end designer, definitely a prestige designer. This probably retailed like $600, and on the resale market, they're going like between $50 and $100. This is like a great professional dress. This can be a cocktail dress. I also love that it has nice big pockets in the front. Like, please, can we have pockets in every garment forever? And it's in like brand new condition. Like this doesn't feel like it's been worn a lot at all. It's beautiful. So this is definitely one of those cases where the feel of the garment kind of dictated me picking it up, and it paid off. So keep your eyes out for the brand. Let me know if you are familiar with Nicole Farhi, if you've ever found any of her pieces, if you're familiar with, I think she's UK based. And again, just really beautiful, very classic pieces just like this. That's what she's known for. And finally, this is not one, but this is two pieces, but I kind of saw like that sticking out. I'm like, oh, yes, please, give me that beautiful eyelet. And I pulled it out and I realized that it's two dresses, two little girls' dresses, and they are beautiful. They're the same dress, so I'll just show you the one. One's a size 4 and one's a size 6. I'm gonna guess that this was like a wedding situation or like a party situation where they had the little girls matching, but look at this embroidery work, right? Like it was just too nice to not be something. Beautiful lace trim, 100% cotton, lined in cotton. Look at that eyelet work on the bottom. This just felt so special. And the brand on it is Petite Amelie. Now, I'm not super keyed into kids brands, but I know quality when I see it, you know? And when I got it back, as it turns out, this is an incredibly high-end girls brands. These retail like $260 a piece. And on the resale market, they're going for about $50 to $80 a piece. So definitely a brand to be on the lookout for. And they are beautiful if you're in the market for like a really nice special occasion dress for your kiddo and you want something really special, check these out on the secondhand market, because you'll pay $60 for a nice dress at like Gap Kids, you know, like you'll pay that much for like a regular mall store where you can be, but two. So what an amazing little cache. I mean, I don't think I've ever found a cache of little girls' clothes before that I was excited about, but here we are. Pretty cool though. So definitely a brand to be on the lookout for. But guys, that is it. That is the haul for today. This was a pretty wild ride. It was an interesting day at the bin. Very little bread and butter, lots of interesting brands, cool vintage pieces, that amazing bedspread, some cool like kids clothes. Obviously the emotional roller coaster that was the fake Christian Dior skirt, but it just goes to show you absolutely never know what you are going to find in the bins. Some days the gift gods give with both hands. Some days they make it tough. Some days you just get really interesting left of center stuff, and that's where we are today. But guys, I appreciate you all so much for taking a little bit of time out of your day to hang with me and go through this haul with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I always have a blast going through these, and I know that like when I am out in the bins and I find these things, I'm just like, oh, I cannot wait to show everybody. You know, like I have those moments, but I do appreciate you all just taking a little bit of your time to hang with me. But guys, if you had fun, please consider leaving a like or a comment on this video. Of course, don't forget to hit subscribe. I would love to have you along on this journey. Of course, if you have any kind of content that you'd like to see me do, don't ever hesitate to put that down in the comments. I do keep a list of them. You guys come up with some really fun ideas. But without further ado, guys, I hope you have the most beautiful week. Happy hunting, and I will see you all in the next one.